Alright, so game 2. This hand does nothing, so I'm gonna have to mulligan it. This hand, on the other hand, does something. Hopefully, turn 4 Worm Coil Engine. I don't like to see that Ancestral Vision there, but on the other hand, hopefully the game will be over before then. Before those cards are relevant, I mean. Curious here if the Phyrexian Revoker affects the suspend stuff or not. I'll have to look into that later. Regardless, I'm going to play out this turn 1 Revoker here. I'm going to name Jace because it's the only card I've seen he has that I know Revoker is going to work on. And then starting turn 2, I'm going to get in the beats with the Revoker. And as soon as I can, I will drop the Worm Coil and continue the beats with that. Hopefully this game goes as well as the last game, but on the other hand, hopefully it'll be a little more interactive. Alright, he says he foresees an early death. It's always a good thing to hear. Oh, Mana War. That's nice. So basically the first creature he plays, I'm going to bounce back to his hand and in all likelihood Time Walk him, which will allow me to continue the beats with the Revoker and eventually, or the next turn, continue beating down with the Mana War as well. So I'm going a little aggro here, but it's always good to have a different angle of attack. Alright, so let's see who it does. Thinking. Yeah, the Diabolic Servitude, I haven't used it yet, hasn't come up yet, but I don't know. Feel like it'll be good to bring back a Worm Coil after it dies. Just a feeling I have. Alright, so now here I have a choice. I could Mana War his Secure Tribe Elder or not. And I'm going to do it just because this way I can get in an extra 2 damage with the Revoker, and I can actually get the Mana War down earlier, which means I'm going to be able to start bashing for 4 next turn. It's not really so much a tempo play at this point because he was going to sack it anyway for mana, but like I said, I'm clearly the beat down so far, so I'm going to try and get in for 2 here, and hopefully the board stays clear on his end and ever growing on mine. So yeah, even though I'm not playing Reanimation, I did keep the Diabolic Servitude in, like I said in the deck building part, mostly because it's reusable. If they do manage to remove my creature, I should be able to Diabolic Servitude it back, so that seems good. Alright, Factor Fiction, faced with Bone Shredder, him, Demonic Tutor, Green Sun Zenith. Well, to be honest, I don't really care at this point. I don't want to be hymned, basically. That's the one card I can't stand to play against, and I'm not going to be able to. Yeah, I don't want to be hymned. It's the only card that's really relevant. So I'm going to split it this way, hoping he'll take the pile without the hymn, and I don't really care if he goes to get any card or Zeniths up a creature, Gifts Ungiven. That's just him waffling around, wasting more turns and more mana while I keep beating down with my 2/2s and eventually my Worm Coil Engine. So I just really don't want him to choose the hymn because it's going to force me to play out my hand. I don't know. Maybe it's as always, Factor Fiction piles are never truly correct, but in this case, I suppose technically it was an incorrect split because I did give him ridiculous 3 cards to put into his hand. But like I said, I wanted him to choose the 3 cards because I specifically didn't want him to have the option to him to Torak me. Alright, so he's taking his time choosing, which obviously makes me scared because I thought I'd made it relatively easy for him. Perhaps I made it too easy, but no. Thankfully, he took the 3 card pile, which means my hand is safe from the hymns now. Plays a tap land and effectively lets me go in again without any interruption. So I'm going to start tapping mana here, but then I realize, no, there's no point. I mean, I suppose I should have played that post-combat, theoretically, but since he's all tapped out, it doesn't really matter. Alright, so now I'm going to bash him down to 12, which means next turn, unless he plays a creature, I'm going to bash him down to 2. I don't know, and if he does somehow kill the Worm Coil, I'll be able to Diabolic Servitude. If he kills the Man of War, I'll Diabolic Servitude. I don't know. I feel pretty safe at this point. He is going to get the 3 cards from the Ancestral Vision next turn, which is going to basically let him have 10 cards in hand, which is quite ridiculous. But I hope that the board position and the game state is just irreparable, if you will. There's nothing in his deck, in his hand, with the mana that he has, that he could do 6. That's my hope, anyway. Most likely I'll get totally blown out now, and I'll have absolutely no answer because I have a land and a useless enchantment in hand, but one can always hope. He does have 6 mana now, which is a problematic amount. Could play that Spirit Monger, which is pain. Yeah. Not sure what he's going to do at this point. If he takes much longer now to make a decision, I think I'm just going to stop the recording and start it back up again when he decides to do something. Alright, I believe he's going to start tapping some mana now. Soon enough, anyway. I suppose it's a tough place to be in. Let's see what he's got. Indrik Stomphouse. I hope he doesn't pop my Sol Ring. Good, good. This is excellent. This is the optimal target, because this means I can Diabolic Servitude back my Wormcoil Engine. This is a magical Christmas land once again. The lands in my hand are completely useless, but he doesn't know the land, so I'll make him think I have some answers. I'm just going to bash in first. Since he doesn't know I can Diabolic Servitude back my Wormcoil Engine, hopefully his blocks will be suboptimal. I suppose at this point the correct block would be to block the Lifelink Worm. That'll save him the most life and keep his Stomp Power around. Yep. Alright. And now I can Diabolic Servitude my Wormcoil Engine back and put him in a tight spot. It's true. He's playing green, white, could very easily have an answer to Diabolic Servitude, which would get rid of the Wormcoil and the Servitude. So I'm hoping that he doesn't have an answer to the enchantment. Like I said, him playing that Indrik Stomphouse to kill my Wormcoil Engine was just excellent for me. Because if he had kept it in hand, played something else, I probably would have been totally blown out by the Stomphouse killing a Diabolic Servitude. But as it turned out, I now have a Wormcoil Engine on the board and a Wormcoil token. Alright. He is once again taking his time with his decisions here. I am going to stop the recording again and start it up in a while. Alright, he's tapping some mana here. Let's see what he's got. Hope it's not a Damnation, but then again, that would leave me with lethal on board. Alright, Green Sun Zenith for 3. I don't know. Trigon Predator. Ah, crap. Alright. Okay, the tables have turned. I can no longer kill him in one shot, and if he attacks me and hits me with a Predator, he'll kill my Diabolic Servitude and the Wormcoil will die. So I think my best bet here is to just bash in with everything and try to get in as much damage as possible. And of course he's going to block the Wormcoil with the Vampire Nighthawk. So I'll gain 6 life, and he'll take 2 down to 3, and then he'll bash me down to 21. Well, sorry, he'll bash me down to 27 or something like that, but he will take care of my Diabolic Servitude. Or, no wait, I'm sorry. My Wormcoil is already dead, that would be useless. So what he will probably do is Trigon Predator away one of my tokens to try and keep him alive, I suppose. Yeah. I don't know, we'll have to see what he does here. Stomphouse will be dead. His Nighthawk will be dead. And I'm guessing he'll block the Revoker at this point. Or the Nighthawk, one or the other. And he'll... oh no! He goes down to 1. Ah, but he gains 2 from the night bot. Right. Okay. So at this point, him being a 3 and me having 2 lethal guys, and him only having 1 blocker, it's not looking great. If he attacks and kills one of my worms, he's dead. I don't know. I don't see how he's gonna pull out of this one. But he's got a whole lot of mana and a whole lot of cards, so anything is possible at this point. I'm scared of what he might play. He has 8 mana in play, and I'm tapping 4, 5. Oh no! Alright. Moloku sucks, because he's got a lot of mana, and he's going to start pumping out 1/1s to stall my attack. And at the same time, he's going to whittle away all my artifacts with his Trigon Predator. So, turns out Moloku is a bomb that probably gonna... I don't know. I don't know if it's gonna... Excuse my dog playing. So yeah, I don't know if it's gonna win him the game, but it's certainly gonna gain him a whole lot of turns. And right now, I just don't have an answer to it. I do, however, have 7 mana on the board, and not anymore. I now have 5 mana on board, which means my Inkwell hard casting plan is basically gone out the window. And yeah, I really don't know what I'm gonna do here. I mean, I'm certainly gonna just bash in with everything at this point, because he's at 3, so any point of damage I can get in is gonna be helpful. Fortunately, I drew an island, which helps me exactly 0 at this point. So yeah, I'm gonna bash in with everything. He'll make 3 Moloku tokens. Block one of my creatures with Moloku, block the other 3 with tokens. My Revoke will probably die against a token, Manowar will probably die against Moloku, and I'll gain 3 life from life. Here's the likely outcome of this situation. Although with Moloku you never know. Luckily, I'm at 27 life, and he's at 3 life, which means he can't do anything silly like end of his turn, tap all of his lands, and beat me down that way. Because all I need to do is effectively get in 1 or 2 hits, and he's basically dead. Alright, so he blocked wrong, I think, here. If he blocked the Revoker with one of the tokens and Manowar with Moloku, I wouldn't have the Manowar here. And seeing as he's such a low life total, I think that actually might be key. Although, of course, my apology, now that I think about it, he knew I have a Diabolic Servitude, so if he'd killed my Manowar, I could bounce to Moloku and that one. So, yeah. I remember when I was playing the game, that did occur to me. It's just that now, watching the replay, no. Alright. So, I played Revoker naming Moloku, which is completely useless. Because he's going to attack with a Trigon Predator, kill my Diabolic Servitude, which is going to kill the Revoker, and it's going to let him keep making Moloku tokens. But what that does mean is that he's not going to be able to use the Predator to pop one of my worm tokens. And that should allow me to keep beating down and hopefully eke out a win here. I mean, it's a little frustrating being at 30 and having your opponent at 3 and not having much to do. Although at this rate, he's going to run out of lands eventually, and once he does, if I still have creatures around, should be able to break through his Moloku wall. I mean, it's done a pretty good job so far. It's bought him a bunch of time, but doesn't last forever. Alright, so let's see here if he does the Diabolic Servitude play that he probably will. In fact, he has to, because if he doesn't, he can't use the Moloku. Alright, Unfortunately, I removed my creature. Here I'll probably just pass, not do anything, leave up mana to make tokens. And he needs at least 2, well 1 to survive. So he could play something if he had anything, but he's got 8 cards in hand, and if he's discarding stuff, then... Oh no, he played a land. Alright. Hopefully his hand is all lands and he's got nothing. Which means that I will eventually manage to break through the Moloku wall. Alright, let's see what we have here. Ah, glorious Shriekmaw. Alright, this is going to let me kill the Moloku if he doesn't have counter magic. And once I kill the Moloku, that basically means he's on a 1-turn clock. Yeah, this clock he'll make a bunch of tokens. Sorry, this turn he'll make a bunch of tokens. But then next turn I will bash in with my 4 creatures, because he certainly can't attack with the Trigon Predator. Because my Shriekmaw flies. Alright. The end of the game must be near at this point, because remember, Moloku makes tokens, but the lands go back to hand. So, unless he has a Damnation or something along those lines to play next turn, and I realize he doesn't play black, so unless he has a Wrath of God or something along those lines to play next turn, this is probably game. Well, not this, but next turn is probably game. Alright. Blocks, blocks, and blocks. And yeah, none of my creatures die. I gain a further 3 life. And yeah, with 4 mana and a creature that can't attack, I don't see how he's gonna win this game. Hopefully we'll be able to finish soon. As you can see from the timers, this game has actually gone on quite a while. Alright, got the good games. That's round 2. More interactive game this time. I'll see you for round 3. Bye.